I've been fortunate enough to have been going to Disneyland for a majority of my life, so I know all of the attractions in this park very, very well. And today we're going to talk about my 5 least favorite rides at Disneyland Park. We're going to start with number 5, which is my favorite of the 5, and then number 1 will be my least favorite in the entire park. So starting things off with number 5 is Chip 'n Dale's Gadget Go Coaster. This ride, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. This is a coaster model that you can find at various other parks around the country. So if you pay to get into Disneyland, it's probably not worth your time to ride this attraction. It does hold a bit of sentimental value to me because this might have been the first roller coaster I ever rode. I'm not entirely sure, or at least one of the first that I ever rode. And the theming around the attraction is better than the theming around similar attractions in regional amusement parks around the country. But, you know, it's still just a basic family coaster layout. It's pretty much a kiddie coaster. Number 4 is Casey Jr. Circus Trains. This is pretty much Gadget Coaster without being a roller coaster. It's just a train. The trains are smaller and more cramped than the Gadget Go Coaster trains, so that's not great. Just gives you a little tour of that back area of Fantasyland, and I'm not a big Fantasyland person, so you know, it's cute, it's fine. Like, it's just kind of there. It's one of the original attractions in the park, so I can't hate on it too much. It's just sort of there, you know? As a roller coaster enthusiast, I like Gadget Go Coaster more because it's actually a roller coaster and it counts as a roller coaster credit, so I can add it to my list of 250 roller coasters that I've been on, and I can't add Casey Jr. Circus Train, so it is what it is. Moving on to number 3 is Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin. Out of all the rides on this list, I feel like this one always has the longest wait, and I have no idea why. Like, the ride is fine. It always has like a 45-minute wait, and I have no appetite to wait in that line, like, ever. I don't really care for Roger Rabbit or the film, which might be an unpopular opinion, but that's how I feel. So I would not wait 45 minutes to ride this attraction because in my opinion it's the quality of this experience is on the same level as like one of the Fantasyland, one of those classic dark rides, and it's only a little bit longer. So why would you wait in a line that's like twice as long as a line for like Snow White or for like Pinocchio or Mr. Toad? Why would you wait in a line that's twice as long for a ride that's of that same quality without it being nostalgic and classic and you know one of the originals? Like, Roger Rabbit is not an original like Casey Jr. is, or Mr. Toad, or Snow White, you know? Especially when Runaway Railway is right next door and that ride is infinitely better than Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin. Like, the ride vehicles are a little interesting because you can spin them like teacups while going through the ride, but it's also kind of disorienting and it's impossible to tell like an efficient story with those types of ride vehicles because you can't orient the guests in a way to ensure that they see like a proper show scene, you know? It is what it is. And some of the sets on this ride just seem kind of cheap and lazy, so that's how I feel. My favorite part is how Roger pulls that little hole at the end to exit the attraction, so that's kind of a cool effect. I like how they did that. Moving on to number 2 is Finding Nemo's Submarine Voyage. The fact that this ride is still here is kind of mind-blowing to me because from what I understand, this is like one of, if not the most expensive attraction to maintain at the entire resort because the ride vehicles are like actually in the water and like the track is in the water. So like obviously you got a lot of wear and tear with that. The ride's not even that good. It has pretty terrible capacities and I feel like that's the only reason why it has a huge wait. Because this ride just retells the story of Finding Nemo. And obviously, the rides that tell their own story that are unique to Disneyland are better than the rides that reflect or just retell the story of the movie that the characters are in, you know? So yeah, this ride vehicle is kind of historic for Tomorrowland. I feel like it doesn't feel like Tomorrowland. It kind of just feels like an extension of Fantasyland because it's an IP-based attraction. Submarines aren't futuristic anymore, at least. If I had it my way, this ride would not be here anymore. We would have something else. Speaking of which, my number 1 least favorite attraction at the Disneyland Resort is Autopia, which is literally right above Finding Nemo Submarine Voyage. So my two least favorite rides are right next to each other. So if I had it my way, let's take a wrecking ball to that corner of the park and let's build something interesting. I don't care if it's an expansion of Fantasyland or if it's an expansion of Tomorrowland or if it's both. Just literally anything will be better than Finding Nemo Submarine Voyage and Autopia. If you watch my Disney names video, then you know that I really like the name Autopia, and that's pretty much it. Like, the attraction takes up so much room, and it's pretty ugly. When you ride the attraction, you have to listen to those annoying cars go off, like, over and over again, like, starting and stopping. Over and over and over. You smell like the smog. In the year 2024, Autopia is not running with electric vehicles, which kind of blows my mind because I remember years ago they were talking about, oh, Autopia is going to go electric. And then it went like, they got all the Honda ads, they like completely redid or added like a bunch of show scenes with like that character. I don't even know what they're from, but I don't know. The whole thing is just massive product placement for Honda. Not a very interesting ride experience. It doesn't fit in Tomorrowland. Like, it was outdated when, like, multiple decades ago. Like, I understand this is also an original attraction to Disneyland and freeways were the future in the 1950s, but it's well beyond the 1950s. Disneyland is going to celebrate the 70th anniversary of the entire park next year, and this ride is still here. And this ride isn't even fun like go-karts because you're attached to the track, so you just bump between the spine of the track over and over again. So it's kind of annoying. Sometimes if someone in front of you is having trouble with their car or if they're just goofing around, sometimes they'll just stop and just completely impact the flow of the attraction. So it's just not fun, you know? And it takes up so much land. It's pretty much the entire top right corner of the park. And real estate at Disneyland is incredibly valuable. So this ride should be gone yesterday. It shouldn't be in the park anymore. I don't like the smell. I don't like the noise. I don't like the ride experience. I don't like the product placement. All of it is just trash. And while we're at it, we should take out the pretty underwhelming submarine ride right below it. Especially since that ride isn't very accessible for a lot of people. And the submarine is pretty cramped. You sit on like stadium seats that are very meh, you know? It's just, these two rides, they gotta go. You know, it's time. It was time a few years ago, but you know, now works too. But who knows if this is actually ever going to happen because Disneyland is turning their attention towards the Forward project. It looks like they're getting approval from the city of Anaheim. It looks like the west side of the park is going to get even more attractions. Because if you look at the park map of Disneyland, I feel like the left side is so much better than the right. Like, the left has Indiana Jones, Big Thunder Mountain, Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, Pirates of the Caribbean, Haunted Mansion, Rise of the Frickin' Resistance, and then the left has Matterhorn, Space Mountain, Star Tours. And Star Tours is just an outdated version of Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. So the left side of Disneyland is just miles better than the right. So getting rid of Autopia and Finding Nemo Submarine Voyage, that'll clear up a lot of room to bring an attraction that'll help balance the park out, because right now it's very left heavy. So we got to get an attraction on the right side of that park, a major attraction. I don't care what it is. It's probably not going to be Tron. I think even if you get rid of Autopia and the subs, I don't know if there's enough room for Tron. And if there is, it would probably take up that whole thing. So we could do like a couple Fantasyland rides, like probably a Frozen ride, maybe a Moana. Probably not Moana. I feel like Moana belongs in Adventureland. Frozen, maybe something like a Wall-E ride, a Wreck-It Ralph ride, like anything that would fit better in Tomorrowland, because right now this is my least favorite corner of the park. Thank you so much for listening to this video. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you later.